Hi, this is Brian Kreutz with Tim Costigan. It's the Dirty
Hey
Cleats
guys,
podcast. I think we're going to cover today our fantasy football league for week one. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, some injuries, some interesting ends of the games that we had, really close games. But Tim, I'll let you lead it off, man. Go for it.
with our fantasy football league, I want to say one thing real quick. If you guys want us to talk about the NFL as opposed to the fantasy football league, let us know. We need to get some input from the fans. I mean, we are really enjoying this podcast, and we see that people are watching, but we wanted to start to get some interaction. But I'll start with our games then. And do you want me to just do one, and then you talk about one, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll just talk about mine because I have no idea. I mean, the fantasy football gods do exist because somewhere along the lines, Tony should have destroyed me. And somehow the Jets went for two points twice, not once, twice, and didn't get it either time. And I pulled it out by like a half a point. You guys got to remember this. Tony's almost 6'8", and he's 300 pounds. So if he gets too angry and I talk too much, I'm going to be dead. So I really just want to say it was a good game, Tony. I know you're probably going to get me next time. I am not rubbing it into anyone ever again because I got lucky.
So going into that game, what did he have left, and what was the score? Like what was going on there?
Tony. Let me go back into it and look real quick. Well, I was right behind him, like 5 or 7 points behind, and I still had all my receivers and Laporta, and ended up squeaking it out. So I really should have, my team and my receivers didn't show up. Josh Allen went off, or I would have never been in the position I was in. So Tony had Tyreek Hill, so he was speeding down the side lanes and speeding in the traffic lane in the same day. I mean, scored an 80-yard touchdown. Tony had DK Metcalf, who kind of disappointed a little bit. I thought DK Metcalf would have done more than he did. But Ramondre Stevenson was the running back for the Patriots, and Tony had him against the Bengals, and we all know how good the Bengals did on Sunday. It wasn't a fun sight to watch.
No, not really.
But I didn't want to just start with my game, but Tony should have won. I don't deserve to win this game, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Well, yeah, I'll talk about the other close game. I'll talk about my game probably later, but I'll talk about the other close game. It was between Devin and Jake. His team's name State Farm. Jake won by the score of 120.30 to 119.85, and if I remember correctly, I'm gonna look at this and see. Yeah,
so he would have won by 45.
0.45 or something.
0.45, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, what it came down to is the 49ers kicker, man. Like, he was on fire. He got 23 points.
Yeah.
And then that basically was a deciding factor in that game. It was really close, but the last field goal that the kicker for Frisco kicked was the game winner for both, for Jake's team and for the gave a defeat to Devin, who had, I believe, the Monday night game, he had George Kittle, who gave him only 8 points. So, yeah, I mean, it's a nice scoring game between the two, but man, it was really close. But looking at Devin's team, it looks like the standouts here. Looks like Stephon Diggs had like 21 points. Patrick Mahomes almost got 20. And let's see what else we got here. Those are probably the two standout players for his team. That was a well-fought battle between the two. And looking at Jake's team, it looks like his gold star players, even though he got hurt, one was Jordan Love. He got 23 points. And the kicker for San Francisco 49ers, who got 23 points. But very close game. Came down to the wire. It's kind of how we like it. This leagues are actually becoming very, very competitive, and the people that play are very smart in the players they pick and the lineups they set. So it's pretty cool. So, but those were the two closest games. We had one blowout, And
yeah, you take the blowout. I don't want to talk about that blowout because that's being, I don't want to talk about someone getting blown out.
Well, let's not talk about blowouts. Then we won't talk about that. There was two of them, and then the other game was that was a closer game. Was me and Mark. My team's the Gotham Knights, and Mark's team's called the Chili Dogs. And again, it came down to two players on the same team. Mark had Garrett Wilson going last night, and I had Brees Hall still going. But the big thing for me, and I lucked out, and was that he did not have Christian McCaffrey able to play. He had him in his lineup, but Christian McCaffrey was a last-minute scratch. And honestly, if McCaffrey would have played, I would have got my butt handed to me probably. So I got lucky there.
It's also kind of hard, like when you have that guy on a Monday night getting scratched and you don't have anybody else to put in because the rest of your team's already played.
Yeah, I agree.
That Monday night thing can be tricky.
I mean, it was still a really good game between the two of us. He had Jalen Waddle, who had 20 points. He had the Vikings defense that went off for 27. In our league, defenses don't score a whole heck of a lot. I mean, they score, but they don't score like 27 points usually. So that was very impressive. And he also had James Conner had a nice game, about 19.30 points. Again, this has been a very competitive league. Everybody's very into it. So, but on my side of the ball, I had Anthony Richardson, who got 33 points, and let's see, my running backs came in pretty well. Brees Hall got 18. Bijan Robinson got 16, and Brian Robinson got 17. So that's
pretty consistent for three running backs.
Yeah, in our league we can start three running backs one as a flex, but yeah, I was pretty impressed with that though. But I thought this week went really well. Everybody turned in their lineups. Everybody was very chatty on the group chat, of game day and everything, and it's a really good league here. So, but some teams got hit with the injury bugs though too, man. Like, somebody lost Puka Nakua. My brother lost him. Again, we talked about Jordan Love. He got hurt. He's probably going to be out 3 to 6 weeks. And then there was just many other players that got hurt also. But all in all, for the fantasy league, I thought it went fairly well. So does that pretty much cover our league this week, Tim, you think?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I agree.
All right. So
I think that we had 3 closer games, 2 games that were a little bit more of a gap, but everybody did well. I mean, if you look at the average scores, it's somewhere around 115, 120.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
If you average it out, so everybody's doing well right now, and it's one game, so whoever didn't win is going to win probably next week.
Oh yeah,
we got 10 guys, and it's harder. It's getting harder every year, I think, to win this league.
Oh, it is. And the interesting thing is we got another wave of waivers coming this week too. So be interesting to see who gets picked up and who doesn't, considering some of the injuries that's happened. So it should be pretty interesting. So, but looking at next week's schedule, if you want to look at that, we can.
Yeah, we can do that. If I can figure out how to go on there.
Let's see. What's this week? Okay. Where are we at? Okay. Here we are. Okay, so this week's schedule, I'm playing Devin. Looks like it has Devin actually as a 4-point favorite. Chili Dogs play Alvin, which is Space Mountain. Space Mountain's our defending champion. Looks like he's a 36-point favorite. Alvin, that is. Then we have Darth or something, which is Fred, playing Tim, which should be a good matchup. That's a matchup of a friendship a lot longer than I've known Tim. So
I've known Fred since we were like little kids, man.
You said what, kindergarten?
We were nursery school, because we didn't go to kindergarten together. I went to kindergarten with Scott Wiggins and Scott Lankite. Fred went to kindergarten with Dana and Aaron Gawley, I think. But I went to we went to nursery school at Wise Hill up in Fort Thomas. So that's where I met him.
Gotcha.
I tease him all the time. He's still wearing brown to this day. When we were little, his mom would always dress him in brown. I was like,
really?
why you always wear brown for? That's what my mom tells me to wear. It was kind of funny. Yeah, and then it was probably about sixth grade when Tony came from Klein Middle School, I believe it was, and started playing soccer with us. And the other team would look at Tony and like, is this kid allowed to play soccer? Yeah, Tony was the size of he was as big as our coaches.
Yeah, he's a big boy, but it looks like your favorite in that game by 13 points this week. So
I don't know about all that. I mean,
we'll see. Fred,
I don't know about Amari Cooper, man. I don't even know if I want that guy anymore. But it's not him. Have you heard all the stuff that's going on with Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. That man's always in trouble.
They're talking about the fact that they might terminate his contract.
Honestly, it'd probably be the best thing for the club, honestly.
And just get another quarterback.
I mean, Joe Flacco played there last year, and he
did better. He did better. So what happens if Watson's contract gets terminated? He doesn't get paid anymore?
He doesn't get paid. I think there's certain clauses.
Portion that he'll get some of it, or?
I don't think so. I think there's certain clauses and things he has to live, go by.
Do you think that'll happen up there?
Probably not, but it wouldn't surprise me either. So
yeah, I get that. I can feel what you're saying.
Yeah, but the other two matchups for this coming week is Tony versus Kevin. Looks like Tony's the favorite there, and Jake versus the Wolverine Warriors, which is Dave's team. He was the champion a couple of years ago.
I'll tell you right now, Dave Parker looked like a genius taking Saquon Barkley with those 3 touchdowns in that opening week 1.
I know.
Looked like a genius.
Fly, Eagles, fly. I mean,
for a little while. So about week 6.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's what it's looking like in our league. Did you want to talk about anything else? Then did you want to talk about
maybe can we talk about the NFL for a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Just for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I just want to go into my little ESPN app and remember who played who back. I know one I can start off with right now. That'll only take about 10 seconds, and that's that the Carolina Panthers are terrible. Because the New Orleans Saints just handed them a new one, man, and we're talking about the Saints.
Well, the Saints got a pretty good defense, though, man.
But that's I don't know, man. The Panthers did nothing, and I've been reading over that the kid. I think he plays. He's a defensive end. I think he's supposed to be the number 1 mock draft pick for next year. He's just like a beast. I don't remember. I can't remember who he plays for. Mikel something or other. And if they get him to pair with Bryce Young and get the offense back in check, it could be good. It's going to take a while, but they could be good.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't have much going on in that game.
Yeah, that was just a blowout.
Well, I mean, okay, so what about the Thursday? The first game of the season was the Thursday game, which was the Chiefs versus the Ravens. How did you think that game was?
Chiefs and the Ravens? I thought that was exciting. I don't want to – for being a journalist, since we are journalists, Brian, and I'm being honest here, the Chiefs look like they're in midseason form. They look really good, man. Isaiah Pacheco, Patrick Mahomes, somebody – I can't remember who got him in our league, but Xavier Worthy was like running all over the place. Oh, yeah, you didn't start him. You didn't start him either.
Yeah. He's a rookie, man.
You're starting Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors, aren't you?
Yeah, but
you have nothing to say right now because you could have used Worthy.
I could have, but those guys were bigger names, and I thought they had a better shot at actually doing more. But
I know. I just wanted to set you up for that.
It's okay. I figured you would.
But I think the Chiefs look really. I think the Ravens look good too. If they match up again in the AFC Championship game, that'll not disappoint.
Yeah, what I was disappointed was with Mark. Was it Mark?
Andrews, you're talking about.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. And I told you he wasn't going to do anything. And if you would have started him, you would have lost. So you're welcome. It's kind of an assist. Kind of is.
Maybe. But yeah, that was a pretty good game.
What did you think about the Eagles and the Packers game?
Oh, I loved it.
Down in Brazil.
I loved it. No one got shot, so that was a good thing.
That was a good thing.
But yeah, I love the game. All the other things. I mean, Barkley looked amazing. I'm sure the Giants fans were home crying when they saw him scoring.
I'm sure they are.
and the GM was probably updating his resume because I don't think he's going to last the season. But I thought their defense did okay. I mean, they gave up 29 points. It was a good game between the two quarterbacks. They both did well. I was a little disappointed with Hurts because he had a couple turnovers, and a little miscues with the center. I think having a new center, not having Jason Kelsey there is going to maybe change things up a little bit. But for the most part, I did like how Hurts spread the ball around to his receivers too. I mean,
he's got a lot to pick from.
You got AJ Brown. He got a touchdown over 100 yards. DeAndre Smith. Sorry, he got a lot of balls thrown to him. So they both were active.
How did Dotson do? Did you happen to see him at all?
He didn't catch any. He didn't catch a pass. He was in, but he never caught.
He was in there.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably just getting used to the offense.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to have. Another first round pick
as the number 3 guy.
As your number 3 guy.
That's insane.
I think that's pretty amazing. But yeah, I thought it was interesting being over in Brazil and all. But I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird watching a Friday game. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Other than that Black Friday game that they had last year, I guess they had that with the Jets.
Yeah,
but maybe next time they'll think about the fact of putting 2 teams in Brazil that aren't wearing green.
Yeah, I know.
one of the smart decisions.
I just thought, like I said, it was weird on a Friday that they were playing because I woke up the next day thinking it was a Monday because
Yeah, sure.
But what's the next game you want to talk about, Tim?
Well, let's go right to the heart of the matter. Bengals suck. I mean, how do you lose opening weekend in your own hometown? I know Chase has been crying about his little contract, and hopefully someday he'll hear this and try to hunt me down. And Higgins is hurt, but you should still beat the Patriots. Do you realize how many times they turned that ball over? They had the game won like 5 times.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they just kept turning the ball over.
Yeah, fumble.
I mean, I don't know. They got to be more disciplined and sound because if they don't get together soon, they're going to be bad, real bad.
They looked very lethargic,
sluggish. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think they're still the type of team that can go into Arrowhead and win Sunday, which is crazy. Like, I still think they can beat the Chiefs.
Well, that's the thing about the NFL. I think besides like teams like the Panthers and a few
this year the Broncos, you can say it, they're bad.
I'm saying Broncos.
No, they're bad.
They're not great. I'll say that.
They're not great.
But mostly anybody can beat anybody in the league.
But the Patriots should never have beaten the Bengals, honestly. No way.
No, they shouldn't have, but they're more disciplined too.
Yeah, in the game, you're right.
That means a lot too, though. So, I mean, and they were the underdogs. They knew it. Maybe the Bengals just like, it's the Patriots. We'll just take the day off and we'll still win. It didn't happen.
And then that cost them a victory.
Yeah, of course. So, I don't know. The other one that I kind of want to talk about is let's see, is the Dolphins game actually. I thought it was interesting because most of the game they were behind, and then they just came out towards the end and won it. I thought they would again. Not a lot of offense. I mean, it's 20-17. With those players that they had with the Dolphins, I just thought they would bring more to the table and actually smoke the Jaguars.
What happened to Moser? Because I saw you dropped him. Is there something? Is he hurt?
Well, he's hurt. And what happened this morning when you're half asleep and you're trying to make an IR move and you accidentally hit?
Well, you shouldn't do it. You need to take him and put him back on your team then.
That's all right, man. He's hurt.
That's not fair if you made a mistake, dude.
It's no big deal. I'll pick somebody else up. I'm cool with it. So, I mean, he's like my 5th running back, I think.
Well, somebody's going to be out there salivating trying to pick him up for their team.
That's all right, man. I mean, I made the mistake. That's okay. But yeah, I'm just interested. I thought they would score more points. And honestly, I thought this week in the NFL that the offense, there wasn't a lot of points scored. There was a couple blowouts, like with the Panthers game, and I believe the Vikings and Giants game. There was a lot of points scored in that one. But
that's because the Giants' defense is bad too.
Well, they're just bad.
Yeah.
They're just bad.
I'm telling you, I just said the Giants may be the one that you want to start the defense against them. You know what I mean? When you start your defense, you may want to start the defense against the New York Giants
Or the Panthers.
or the Panthers. Yeah,
yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, as the NFL in all, I didn't think the offense was there a lot this week, and maybe that's because it's a lack of preseason games, and they don't hit as much as they used to, like in practice and stuff. So I think those things are taking a toll, and it might take a couple weeks until we see more offense in the NFL. So that's
well, can we just wrap up with two more then?
Yeah, go ahead.
One for me and one for you. I'll go first.
Okay,
I'm going to take the Sunday night football game with the Lions and the Rams, okay. And you're going to take the Monday night football game with the Niners and the Jets.
Okay.
And then we'll be done. I think that when I saw that Sunday night football game between the Lions and the Rams, I felt like it was like January. It was one of the best football games I have seen in years. Did you watch it at all?
I watched a little bit of it.
It was so exciting. I was mad because I didn't want the Lions to keep running the ball, and I wanted Laporta to be like dished like 25, 30 times with the ball, which is unrealistic. But I was just like, keep throwing to Laporta. But, man, David Montgomery from Mount Healthy, he was running all over the place. Jahmyr Gibbs looked like a man possessed. Jared Goff is a great game manager, and I don't think he's just a game manager anymore. I think he's becoming one of the good quarterbacks in the NFL. I think the Lions, I'm going to be honest with you, if the Lions won the Super Bowl this year and hell did freeze over, I would be so happy for those fans because they deserve it. Those people were ruckus and crazy, and it was a total awesome football game to watch. Best football game of the weekend, in my opinion.
You just froze up. Really?
You did?
Yeah.
I'm here. What do you mean I froze up? I'm still here.
You froze up a little bit. That's okay, man.
Oh, okay.
I thought the Eagles game was one of the best games, but that's me being biased, I guess. But
I didn't get to see it. I wish I would have seen it, but I was working that day.
I got you. I somehow got a free 6-month subscription to people.
Yeah, I know. I should have came over to your house and watched it.
Probably, but all right. So we'll talk about the Monday.
Well, take us home then with the Monday Night Football game.
We'll talk about the Monday Night Football game. Again, it's the 49ers and the Jets. 49ers, they got all the weapons. I mean, they kind of, I don't want to say they steamrolled the Jets, but they kind of steamrolled the Jets.
Yeah.
I believe it was let's see here. It really wasn't until, the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter that the Jets did anything. I mean, I was happy to see Breece Hall get a touchdown in the first quarter, but I don't know, man. There's still a bunch of hype about Aaron Rodgers, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it. The man's 40-something years old, and I don't think the Jets are going to go far. But the game itself, I watched most of it, and it was a pretty good game. The 49ers had their way, and that little kicker, he was on fire. But as far as a Monday Night Football game, it was okay. Because it wasn't the best one. So, but I think Aaron Rodgers' days are kind of numbered, man. I think this is it for him this year.
I kind of feel like you're right. I've been watching it and kind of observing, and they looked sloppy last night.
He just looked like he was thrown the place. Like a few of the passes I saw him try to throw.
For your sake, I hope that he doesn't make Breece Hall bad. You know what I mean? I kind of, that's what I'd be worried about. You know?
I don't think
Garrett Wilson did not look good at all.
But here's the thing, okay,
and it's not because of Garrett Wilson; it's Aaron Rodgers.
But here's the thing, though, Breece Hall being a running back, he kind of controls his own destiny in a way.
Yeah.
And he could still catch passes out of the backfield, too, so he could pretty much save Aaron Rodgers' butt when he's in trouble. So even last year, I think Breece Hall had over 60 catches. I might be wrong on that, but it was pretty close.
No, you're probably right. I had him at the end of the year before I traded him to you, and he was doing really good.
And I think he's the man there. I mean, I just think he might be the number one running back in football right now, honestly. But who knows? But yeah, I mean, that's kind of our wrap up of this week of our fantasy league in the NFL. Tim, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I just want to wish you a good luck this weekend with your game.
Same to
You
you.
know, wish myself luck again because I need it. Because
Yeah.
if Fred comes at me like Tony did, I'm going to be crying again on Monday night.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Fred's team last week was on fire, dude. They got 100. He got
So who is our Sunday night and Monday night football matchup for this week coming up?
All right,
do we know?
Well, I can look and see.
Week 2. Our Thursday night game is Bills at Dolphins.
Yeah.
And it looks like our Sunday games. Sunday night is the Bears at the Texans. That's interesting.
That might be a good game.
And then Monday night is the Falcons at the Eagles.
Yeah, I'll be happy.
Wow, so you got Bajan going against your own defense?
I'll probably have a different defense. I'll probably have a different defense going. I'll be honest.
You can trade me Bajan if you want.
No,
You say I'll take him off your hands.
I don't think so. But yeah, those are some good matchups, man. Falcons versus the Eagles on the Monday night.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Now, do you think for the Sunday night game, do you think Williams is going to bounce back?
He can't. He's not going to beat the Texans in Houston.
Well, I don't think he will.
It's in Houston, and he won his opening game, but I just don't. No way, Houston. No way.
Well, I mean, I don't think they'll win. I mean, I think Texans will win, but do you think Williams himself will improve from the week before?
Oh, he has to. He has to, or they got problems.
Yeah,
because he didn't do hardly anything. He had like 93 yards, I think they said.
Yeah.
So he needs to improve. I mean, that's a big thing. But then I also take back what I just said. If I say no way, no way, how do we know that the Bears aren't going to go in there and win that game? Because, anything can happen,
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I know.
I don't think they will, but I could be wrong.
No, I think if they get the running game going and they get Williams going also, I think they have a better shot at it.
It would just be so cool if you could be a person that could predict the outcome of every sporting game. Yeah. Like if you somebody could bet on you telling them who won.
Sort of like Back to the Future 2. Where
I guess so, yeah. I'm going to tell you that the Eagles are going to lose. And they're going to lose.
Or Marty got the all sports almanac or something like that.
All sport, something like that.
And then Biff took it back to 1955 and became a millionaire.
Right.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would like that.
I think we all would.
But, okay. So we kind of previewed a little bit for this coming week. But we'll kind of shoot for Sunday maybe to do this again?
Yeah, we'll do what we can. I want to let you guys know I got a new job and I'm going to be on here with Brian, but I got to wait till next week to get my start date. So don't run away. Don't go look for another podcast like the New Heights or anything, because you got the Dirty Cleats right here, right now.
Well, that's us signing off. This is Brian. That's Tim, and we will see you guys on
See you guys.
See ya. Bye.